Hi, my name's Kathy, and I want to talk about my standardbred trotter. During the winter, he looked fantastic, but then on March 31st, I took him to the vets for his annual shots, and within 4 days, he stopped eating, drinking, and had a hard time to have a bowel movement. When I called the vets, he told me to start giving him Epsom salts and water 3 times a day, tubing him and putting it down his mouth with a syringe, which I did just to get his bowels moving. But then on April 25th, I started him on diatomaceous clay. Diatomaceous clay, or earth, is a marine sediment consisting primarily of the skeletons of diatoms. And the skeletons are almost 84% silica, along with other trace minerals. It also has calcium bentonite in it. And calcium bentonite is a natural clay formed from the weathering of volcanic ash and has been used for hundreds of years for natural medicinal remedies. It has strong absorptive properties and have been used topically to draw fluid from burns, infections, as well as spider bites and bee stings. It's also very good for a digestive aid and colon cleanser, and is a very powerful detoxifier of heavy metals, such as mercury and aluminum. Mercury and aluminum is very toxic to the system, and mercury is in all our shots that we get and our horses get, our animals get, and has been found to, they're deciding that it is causing autism in children. But also at the same time, I started him on May 9th, giving him bovine colostrum from Immune Tree, which the All Natural Way sells, and immediately I noticed a difference in his personality. He's usually aggressive, and he started being more happy, relaxed, and more focused. Not even seeming so much as in pain anymore. And colostrum' primary function, if not the primary function, is for the gut health. The condition of gastrointestinal tract by the mouth, esophagus, and the stomach, and the large and small intestines is where most diseases will originate, and it comes in a powdered form or capsules or pills. And I chose the powdered form for him. And I thought this would be good because he had ulcers in the past. But I also noticed that he began to race different. Here's one race that you're going to see, that's him, the number 3. And if you watch him in the turn, as he's starting to get there, see a hip hike, how he's going? And I've never been able to stop him from having that. But after 3 weeks on the colostrum, here's another race. That's him that's starting to leave, the number 2. If you watch him as he goes into the turn, the hip hike's not as bad. It's alleviating, it's starting to go away. It's just not there anymore. So it was making changes internally at the time for him. See, he's not really having it. He looks no different than the rest of them. So we had raced a few times, and the last time he finished 4th, but he just didn't seem right, so I shut him down and I took him to the vets. And on May 25th, we went to the vets. And this is his report. He was found to be a level 4 ulcers, and he was also found to have colitis of the colon. He states here that he had lost over 100 pounds since he was last seen in March. But he didn't understand that why his condition of his body his score was a 4 out of a 9. And when I told him of the colostrum and the clay, they had said that had to have been the only thing that kept him going and made him look as good as he did. Even his blood work that he had, as you can see, everything was extremely low, that he was fighting something, but yet what should have been low for the colitis was normal. And again, they attributed it to the colostrum. And then on June 1st, he got stung or bit on the left hock. And the outside of the hock and the front swelled up. It was hot and it was painful. So that night I poulticed it up with regular poultice all the way down. The next morning it looked like it was dropping. It was coming down. But then on June 10th he got bit or stung again on the right nostril. And it swelled up so much it looked like an elephant ear. And what you see there with it is diatomaceous clay that I had placed on the nostril to help with the swelling or the bite itself. On June 11th, that night, I went to feed him and I took his temperature and it was 104. And he was scheduled to race the next day. But when I took him out, it was a 98.8. But that same morning, I also found a brown spider that looked a lot like this. This is a brown recluse spider. And I killed it. I should have saved it, but I think this is what he was bit by. The leg continues to swell up and down and be hot. He started to get broken bone lame, and he was always pointing it and standing on his toe, resting it all the time. So on the 25th of August, I started wrapping the whole leg with the diatomaceous clay. On the 26th, the next morning, it brought out at least half a dollar size large lump out of the front of his ankle. On the 27th, it got even bigger, and it was bringing it out like a scab was going to come off with the hair and everything off the area. The next morning when I took the wrap off, it left the hole that you can see here with another scarring of an area up above it. It was yellowish that was around it, and it seemed infected. That there was a little pus on the gauze and everything when I took it off. So I repoulticed him again. And that morning it brought out 2 more spots above the hole, below it, and on the back of the tendon. And here it is showing that the back of the tendon, the one that it blew out, and there was a small one below that. And they too were like yellowish and like infected looking. Now here's pictures of 15 days later, before and afters. On the left is the before when it first blew. Approximately 15 days later, I've been wrapping with colostrum mixed into a paste with warm water. It's began to shrink it up. The vets, they have confirmed that it is a brown recluse that he must have gotten on the hawk earlier, and they said this is typical of what it blows out. You can see above the hole how it's red, and on the right side it's starting to go away. On the back of his leg, you can see on the left picture where there was 2 of them, and it was red with the yellow pus, and on the right hand side it's almost gone. The top one is gone, the hair's growing back, and the one on the bottom's completely gone. So colostrum is amazing, and that's what the vet's saying, because it usually takes weeks to draw these out, and it was done in 15 days. So thanks for watching, and to buy colostrum or the diatomaceous clay, go to theallnaturalway.com.